All right, so let's dive into the conversation this morning. We're starting off with the AGN. The AGN is the Actors Guild of Nigeria. Now, the president of the AGN, Emeka Rolas, has called on the federal government to ramp up its scrutiny of filmmaking operations in Nigeria. Hmm.
Man, see, I read that story. I
Scary
can tell
stuff.
you, personally, this is my own personal opinion. I just feel like there are bigger problems than, checking for cultural and traditional whatever
Value
movies and
in
stuff.
movies.
Look at what is happening internationally and how the movie industry, where they are going to, or the direction right now. It's not about some, this guy don't be majoring in minors. I just feel like there are bigger problems than how the narratives and I just feel like, can we look for ways to improve the movie industry for
It's
real
point, yeah.
than trying to pick on little things that are particularly, I mean, I don't know why the whole attention and the whole I don't want to call it beef, but I feel like Jade Yoshiberu has done a great work with Gangs of Lagos. She did it was a good narrative, it was a good story, it was production wise, the direction wise, storytelling wise, um, picture quality, everything, the cast, everything was a fantastic job. Can we just focus and appreciate on the fact that it was a story told or just fiction? Like she and actually, if you read or if you watched the movie from start to finish, she said it just clearly that this thing is not directed or is not even in any way a depiction of anybody's or anything that might be real. So people should appreciate the expression or work of art that she did with this movie than keep looking for. And but anyway, it still makes it more popular. They just keep spreading the word of
James is
this
But can
frustrated.
we
people. They should
see a
chill.
little bit of what they're saying, though? Like maybe
Wait.
the accuracy of storytelling. Isn't there any point we can look at that bit?
Zibby, yes, we can. But I wonder if it's the place of the AGN to antagonize, to be honest. I'm hoping that this, because I read this story, I was like, I'm not quite sure. I didn't see the connection between Guns of Lagos and the exact thing Emeka Rolas was saying. Because if there is, I feel like you should be on the side of the filmmaker, not against the filmmaker. So why are you making it look like they've done something wrong? Except, of course, we are considering the AGN as like an extension of the government. And then, okay,
Wow.
But otherwise, I would think that the AGN should be in support of like filmmakers and be trying to like advocate for them rather than attack them, which is what this kind of sounds like. Because, yeah, as James has said, it's a rather decent film from Nollywood. So Nollywood itself, which I would assume AGN is like an arm of, should be proud of it, as opposed to like saying they should regulate. And again, we should be careful what we wish for. I don't know that Nollywood did not start up with government intervention. It's pretty
Facts.
much a bunch of guys who just wanted to do something, and they did it. So why are you asking government to regulate it now? If they do come in, there are a lot of things that could go wrong. At least we all know how government agencies in Nigeria pretty much work. So I don't know that they want that level of casualness in the film industry. Emeka Rolas, of course, belongs to like the older, in quotes, generation of filmmakers, by the way. So maybe there's something to be said about that. This whole idea of like old versus new. Some of them reject it, by the way. That there's no old and there's just one Hollywood. But actually, it is not true. It is certainly not
That
true.
was a very loud whisper, Oris.
So it's not true. So I just wonder if maybe that's also what's happening here. That okay, this AGN feels like it's speaking for old Nollywood, which maybe was more traditional in quotes, than the guys who are feeling like we are young and we can just do whatever it is we like with these stories. So I do see their point, like you're trying to say, but I don't think it is AGN's place to be saying that protect our cultural values, government. It's ridiculous, just ridiculous.
All right. Tayo says Oris is chilling with the big boys. Forget the others in the studio and give me the extra tickets. Okay, and he says the hate on Gangs of Lagos continues. If there's a movie about falling buildings, would Mr. Rollers and Co. push for regulation?
Excellent. God
All
bless
right.
you, Tayo.
Cruz says all the people trying to fault the movie can't say it's a correct reflection of what's happening. If they're scared that some secrets have been highlighted to the public, then that's what they should focus on and not someone telling a story. Otherwise, what do we say about movies in the world shedding light on government conspiracy theories and the activities of secret societies?
That reminds me, Emeka Rolas was part of, like I said, old Nollywood, which was very, very invested in ritual movies. Why didn't they say anything? Why wasn't that an issue? why is Gangs of Lagos a worse depiction of culture than those ritual stories that they used to have in 1990s?
And that's facts.
All right, let's move on to news coming from Enugu State now. Tonto Dike, who is an actress, has sponsored 50 children's education for a year, and this is coming in the form of scholarships on behalf of her son.
Big news, especially because everybody knows Toronto is not the most positive news.
Oh, wow.
No, I have to say it's true, right? You know, anytime you hear Toronto in recent times, it's really about her and her ex-husband or something, you know, her and the ex-husband's wife and all stuff like that. So, for once, we have a bit of news that has no, I don't know, there's no negative thing to this news, I think. So, yeah, so I'm just, you know, good for the kids. Super.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to her. We have to always commend any good deed, pretty much. And regardless of whether she's doing it on behalf of her son or by herself, it's still the fact that some people are going to benefit from this particular deed, and we have to give her kudos for that and actually implore or more or less encourage people to follow suit.
All right, so the federal government has offered land to Indian investors who are looking to build film cities in Nigeria. Now, Lai Mohammed, who's the Minister of Information and Culture, spoke about this while receiving Sri Balasubramanian, who's the Indian High Commissioner to Nigeria.
I'm impressed with how well
How
you
long
got
do
that name.
Yeah. I was going to ask how
There's
long
no
do
way
you
on-
practice that for?
Wow.
Because when I was reading it, I was like, okay, Zibby will have to practice this one because I did the same. I was so fantastic. So I was quite impressed. So this news again. I beg, how many things have they as government all due respect to Lai Mohammed, how many things has it done, or how many things has the government really done in terms of creating land spaces and all of that for our Nollywood? Now back to what's his name again? Rochas? What's that guy's name again?
Rollers.
Yeah. Probably these are the things or something like this that he's supposed to actually be pushing the government to do. What they do with what's that place called in Calabar?
Tina? No.
There's
Obudu.
There's Obudu. There's also Tina.
There's also Tina.
You know
Bogala.
what
It used to be
the government.
They used to. 2 of them used
Thank
to
you.
exist. They used to exist
Thank
in
you.
the back in the day.
What did the government do with those places? Because they are even still in existence, but I don't know. Not much can be said about those places anymore. We actually need the movie or Nollywood needs more of those kind of places or those kind of land spaces to create film cities and film whatever you can think of.
Yeah,
I like the collaboration. I like it's nice. You know, when these people come, when the international bodies come, our government, no disrespect again, please, this is James Silas' opinion, but our officials
Oris,
like
can you
to,
see? It's him.
our officials or our government people like to, sound nice, they like to look, but after the handshake, I'm wondering the next time you want to, hello, Mr. I want to speak to Lai Mohammed and stuff, and like, guys, busy, nothing. So they just have just make those nice, flashy statements, and after that, I mean, I like what's that movie that they highlighted in this whole thing, the Nigeria Namaste Wala. It was alright, but it was just an average,
Zibby
I can understand.
Zibby doesn't seem to agree.
No, a lot of people didn't agree, or a lot of people probably don't. But I thought it was a nice production.
But I remember that some time ago there was this whole idea of like creating a film village in, I think, Kaduna or Kano, in the north anyway, and there was this huge outcry, and it never did happen.
Now, it's interesting. Some
So I'm like,
producers actually have their
right.
own private film villages and film cities.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing. It's kind of like you heard about the Tyler Perry
Yes, in
ownership of the
Atlanta.
studios. If you can just understand how long
Massive.
massive that land is,
in Atlanta.
So you need something of this sort in a way here, and you can never get that without the government saying, you know what, okay, we are going to do this. So I just feel like you guys are doing it for the Indians. How about for the Nigerians?
And please, even if they are going to do this, they should not bring it to Lagos. Lagos is already as crazy and crowded as it can as possibly be. I don't know. I'm looking at Lagos, the topography. I'm looking at the landscape. Where are they going to possibly?
No, at the end, no, all of those refineries.
No, they shouldn't bring
that
it
have
to
not
this.
been.
They should take it to other
Well,
states.
from this
please.
article, the film cities will potentially be built in Lagos and Abuja.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But
Leave Lagos out of it.
invariably, it has to be. It will be Lagos. There has to be something in Lagos. Everybody else is here.
See, that's probably
Maybe here or Asaba, but then those are like two different sections of the movie industry. The Asaba films are not the films that show up in our cinemas here. What happens here probably
Interesting
doesn't show
point.
up there as well. So yeah, so there's that whole thing. So I think, yeah, if there's going to be one, you are right. For everybody to be happy, it should be elsewhere. But realistically, in terms of the business, you don't want to spend too much money ferrying everything somewhere else and then bringing it back just because you know the production is going to take place here a lot of the time. So yeah, it's tricky.
All right, let's see what Daisy says. Daisy says it's a film. Read into it what you may. And I believe this is in response to the Gangs of Lagos movie.
Yeah.
Let's take a break and we'll continue the conversation on the other side. This is The Grapevine on Smooth 98.1.
Yeah, I remember there's that thing, and then the Islamic clerics and everybody started to shout that they are going to bring immorality or something to their land and stuff. So yeah, that didn't work out eventually.
It'll definitely be Lagos. So, I mean, this is like
Yeah, no, but my
entertainment
concern
hub,
about
right?
Lagos is that it's about creating like a film village or something, right?
Yeah,
You know,
like maybe
I feel
places they can shoot
you
stuff
can
like
take
that.
it.
Yeah.
They have a bigger spaces and maybe they can do more with outside of.
But
Lagos
James,
and stuff.
look at it. You know, you try to think about this thing like I said, business, just in terms of like the revenue and everything, and even the costs, production costs. If, for instance, you had like international people who are not based in Lagos, who are not based in Nigeria, in these films, you have to first bring them to Lagos, which is our major international airport, and then ferry them somewhere
that's
else.
a
Bring them
lot
back.
of
That's a lot of
logistics.
money.
True, though.
You
True,
get. So
true,
that's
true.
part of the problem. You get. Yeah.
True.
So maybe if there was one of the states that has like an international airport that's actually active, not this one that we just lost the name, that's actually active.
Yeah.
And then you then have like other things that happen around that area. For now, the actors are in Lagos. The the editors are in Lagos, producers are in Lagos. You don't want to spend so much money bringing everybody, taking it. So just transport alone is already a lot of money, and you don't want that.
Major.
There's also security problem too.
Oh yeah, that one too.
Headsmen will not just go and win and then trouble.
What did he say? What is he?
We're talking about
Mr. C doesn't concern you. Wait, it's not Manchester.
Mr. C, why are you trolling Oris?
Don't mind me. I seen an opportunity. Yesterday's match is giving this match. Ateta, I blame you. I blame you for this nonsense happening to me. I blame you, Ateta. Naive coach.
All right, we're on in 5. This is The Grapevine on Smooth 98.1. It's Zibby here and my co-anchors this morning. Every Thursday, as always, it's James and Oris. Right.
Thank God, no year this time.
Yeah. Thank the good Lord.
Sometimes you hold your breath.
Okay. Well, you can be a part of the conversation. The WhatsApp number is 0809 444 981. And we're also streaming live on our YouTube, Smooth 981 FM Lagos. So, let's talk about who has been snitching to the FBI. Now, apparently, Prass from the legendary group The Fugees has admitted to being an FBI informant in court. Now, he's facing a very lengthy jail time if he's found guilty, of course. And the way it's looking, I don't know if he can be found innocent, but it's a lot.
Yes. And it's a very, very complex story. I would advise anybody who is listening, who wants to get more, there's a very long report on this topic, I think last month. I think it was in the Financial Times or Bloomberg.
The weird thing,
very long piece, but
his social media handle was retweeting that article.
Of course, no, yeah, because he was on the cover, and they think like it's showbiz. So,
You're facing 22 years.
No, at the time, to be honest, at the time that article was written, it looked like he might be able to get out of it. Because I remember that the way the piece even ended, something he said at the end was that he wants to fight it. They were offering him actually a plea bargain, and he didn't take it because he said he wanted to clear his name. And if he had agreed, that would have been him admitting guilt. So I think at that particular stage, he was confident, at least he wasn't the one speaking and it was his lawyer to the press. He was confident that something was going to happen. But I think weeks later, it looks really
the charges
unlikely, But
how
about the other part about this story? The thing about the guy what's his name? Mr. Lowe from Malaysia, who is friends with what's it called? Leonardo
DiCaprio.
Everybody in this story, by the way.
Yes.
Everybody big.
I think DiCaprio has had to show up in court.
Yes,
so
he had
he
to.
will.
Yes, he had to. I think he actually yes. I don't know if he was in court, but he did give a statement. So it's a pretty tough stuff that's happening.
It's interesting. How are you an informant for the FBI and then you're being tried? It's so strange. Shouldn't that give Prass some sort of immunity
No, but
for
that
working?
part is not even clear. That part is what's it called? It's not we still need clarity on that information in terms
Mm.
of how it came to, or how they had to bring that up to say he's an informant. Because sometimes if in some of the movies we've seen, or maybe it probably happens a lot in real life,
Mm.
where you have access to a criminal organization or activity,
Okay.
maybe not as a criminal per se, but even if you were, then the police or the force might approach you and say, okay, look, we're not going to press any charges on you. We know you're not the main guy. We know you're not the one we're looking
That's
for.
exactly what
Can
happened,
you, so can you do this? So maybe him now coming up to say, okay, look, not like I was actually there, I was working for the FBI. Like what you're saying might save him. But in this situation, I think it's even much more than that.
And we have presidents involved in this.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Um,
basically,
But
he
is it an
uses the
offense?
funds.
Is it an offense to
Obama.
support or to
it's both of them actually,
So
because it's a very long
there are
spanning
rules
case.
when it comes
Yeah.
to donations.
Donation,
So
yes.
if you're not a US citizen, you can't exactly put any money into any of the campaigns, because that would mean you're trying to perhaps lobby or get some sort of influence.
Which is what he was
Okay.
trying to do, by the way.
Well, accused of.
No, not Praz. The
Oh,
Joe
the
Low,
Malaysian-
Yeah,
oh, yes.
Yes.
probably on behalf of what, China?
No,
China's
yes, it
government?
was.
I think it's more on his own.
It's a very complex
It
thing. He was
is.
getting chased from another country, and so that they would not extradite him. He was trying to get favor with the government.
Yeah,
Of the
You understand?
Yeah,
So that was
that's-
exactly what.
that's
That's exactly.
exactly.
And what's funny is that Praz is the one who is being what's it called now? Held back.
Yeah, because he's
This
on the
man
run.
this man's living free. They said 2 years ago or something. They saw him at a vacation spot.
Or maybe
I don't
soon
know, man.
the breakfast will get to him.
No, I think it's the
He's
country
on the
where,
run.
where you can bring him
Yeah.
back.
Oh.
You
And
can't
he
do that.
has the money, so it's easy for him.
Man.
Okay. Wow. We just got some information that we cannot legally share. Okay. So it's 8:36 and you're listening to The Grapevine on Smooth 98.1. So it's a huge amount of money. So they paid him about 70 something million. Who knew Pras had that much money though?
No,
No,
I knew.
Did you say they paid him, or they
It wasn't
froze?
once- it
They
wasn't
froze
once, though.
70 something.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
amount
so-
that he got from this
Particular
Malaysian
record.
fella.
Okay.
Was it all together? Because I know that he to get a photo with Obama, there was about $20 million exchanged. Then there was something else for Trump. It's ridiculous, man. It's just
This
ridiculous.
just shows that when you're a public figure, you have to be careful about the people that you associate with, or even the people that you're seen with. Because even here in Nigeria, we've had people who have defrauded others with these Ponzi schemes, and they've somehow managed to take pictures with popular religious
Yes.
figures
Mm.
or government officials, and it sort of gave them some sort of legitimacy.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. What's it called? Principle behind why a brand is endorsing, or a superstar is endorsing a brand. The exact same thing. Like, I'm with you, so I am legal. I'm legit. That's the exact story here.
Wow. All right, let's see what messages are coming through. Tayo says, Praz Michael, that criticized Wyclef's ambition for Haiti presidency. He's purely jealous. Now we know his snitching skills are A1.
Nah,
Okay.
Wyclef not a good person either, to be honest. In fact, the three of them. I'm serious. He did take money that was meant for Haiti. He did.
Was this confirmed though? Because it seemed to be a public
Well,
media trial.
in my own head, it's confirmed.
It was a media trial. It never really went to court.
I am not.
It's an
convinced.
allegation, or James.
Well, no.
Oris, I
I'm
beg
taking
your
it. I'm taking
Once
it.
Oris does not like you, no matter what you say about that situation,
I like Guantanamera, but I feel like a lot of Wyclef's actions since he
You
left
like
the spotlight
Diallo?
has been.
The
Of course,
only
that's a
way
great,
to America.
Eclectic, that's a great album, you know.
Amazing.
But I feel like post his music career, I've just not been impressed by what he's done. And even the lady, Lauren would not show up at certain concerts.
Very
She's
tardy.
evading tax. Please, these people are just problematic.
Wait, so Lauren has gone to jail. Will Pras be the next Fuji to go to jail?
Fingers crossed, eh?
yeah, fingers crossed.
Okay, let's talk about Toni Braxton now. Toni Braxton revealed that she had to undergo surgery last year because she had an artery in her heart blocked. Now, she said it was 80% yes, blocked.
Scary.
And she thought the way she was feeling was the pain of losing her sister Tracy, who, by the way, is my favorite Braxton. So I was so crushed that she passed. But she's gone through that surgery. She's battled lupus for so many years now. And she seems to be on the mend.
Yeah. 80% though, that's crazy.
alarming. That's
Yeah, she said the doctor told her that she could have died.
true.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I know somebody who passed just recently from heart complications and stuff. So he was in the bathroom and slumped, and that was it.
Wow.
So I'm sure this is related, which is why
You know,
people
it's
say
such a very,
you know,
I don't know,
you have
fascinating
to
because you don't even know. You just have a blood clot. How can you even tell?
exactly. Some days I see that I sat down for so long, and that what you just said just comes to mind. I'm like, oh blood, I gotta stand, walk around,
James is like, I still have things to do.
I have things to do.
You know,
On.
exactly. No, but yeah, it's really, really scary that you could just be sitting, literally just sitting. Nothing. In fact, that's the problem. The fact that you're not doing anything. Like,
Yeah.
what the issue is, and then a clot and bam.
Wow. And this is why, health experts will always advocate for regular health checkups. Now, she says because of the underlying medical condition she had, she would go for her
Oh, that's how
regular
it was
checkup.
discovered.
Yeah, but for some time, perhaps grieving from her sister, she just didn't want to think about it. She actually missed a lot of appointments.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the other thing about this, right? But do we have these equipment in Nigeria?
We do.
Okay.
I mean, a great deal. Yeah. I mean, your money talking too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Those are basic things that most hospitals and government facilities should have. All right, so let's move on to our next story, and this one has to do with Tyrese. Now,
that comedian.
how did Tyrese become a comedian, though? Is it the social media thing?
Yes.
He's funny. He's doing the things he does.
No, just
just funny.
yeah, it's just like, but you are
Like a child.
you're a grown man. Why are you
Yeah.
pulling this off? It's kind of like last week's story about the Modi guy crying on camera. So.
Yeah.
Was that even real tears? That fella. Ugh,
He said, you know what you're saying to yourself, that this is no crocodile tears. Bro. Stop.
Wait, so that was meant to be real?
Yeah, that's what he said.
He's not winning an Oscar. Not anytime soon.
I this is the person who gets paid 10 million naira for a role, according to him.
Yeah.
And according to Oris, that he's a YouTube actor. Not me.
But it's true, exactly. I've never seen this guy, and I see a lot of movies on the big screen. I've never seen him, and then he's saying it's 10 million. I know people even on the big screen take 10 million, and he takes 10 million. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
but yeah, I don't know. Tyrese is just a very interesting character. I think when he's not acting in those Fast and Furious movies, it's not. I don't think life is entirely fine with him. So he needs those movies to kind of like get over the hump. But yeah, apparently they've asked him to pay money for child support.
Yeah.
Actually, asked him to pay $10,000, I think, back in the day, and he was only paying about 2,000.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, I mean, why do these I'm sure Tyrese is worth a lot of money.
He has to be, because I think this that's franchise has been super successful,
Right.
and he's been in a lot of
Meanwhile, are you guys looking forward to
Fast 10.
Wait, there's a 10th one now. Are these people being
I am looking
serious?
forward to that because I have one of my favorite actors,
Jason Momoa.
Momoa. Look,
Jason
I can't
Momoa.
Suddenly Zibby changes her mind. Come on, look at this Nigerian
What can
woman
I
in the
say?
studio. Can you
Lisa
imagine?
Bonet is having a good time.
And then he's going to. I mean, I think they're bringing in Jason Momoa to Jason. Sorry, Jason. What's his name?
Statham.
Statham is
Oh.
going to be.
Statham is
They invited him to come and help fight. What I don't know what Havoc Jason.
Look how
because
happy
of that.
James is
Look.
about this film.
Yes.
I'm one of those people who just thought that, look, let this be the last. I'm tired. I'm done. But when I watched the trailer, I knew that, oh no, I need to see this one too. I want it to come. Yes, I'm looking forward to
And
it.
sure, it's in the trailer, the
May
end,
or
the end of the beginning.
I hope
begins,
that's
something
the
like
end
that.
of something. Final.
You want that to
believe
be
me,
the end.
it will never end. I can assure you.
But at some point, it's just like that Police Academy thing, right? The movie.
Yes.
I think it got up to 8, and at some point, it was like, okay.
But you will be surprised that someone going to do a remake of that, and it will begin all over. See,
Oh my God.
Hollywood is in that strange place where nothing really ends.
Wow.
Look at the Fast and Furious series.
Yeah.
People die, and
Yes.
then two installments later,
Yeah.
they are back. There's the Chinese guys in this one. I'm like, how are you still alive? I saw you blow up in the, but these things are just, they're absolutely no sense to them. You just like, you know what, come to the cinema, have a thrill, go home.
Okay, so coming to Tyrese's story, why is it so difficult for these wealthy men to pay child support for the upkeep of their children?
It's the pain, number one, of the divorce, and he hates the ex-wife probably right now. And then he's wondering, wait, I'm still gonna be given this one 10,000, and I don't know. It's what I want to say. I like their system, or maybe it's the government.
It's their system.
That sort of
Yeah.
protects both the women
Yeah.
and the kids. So
But Kanye said this thing a long time ago in Gold Digger.
yeah,
We want prenup. Yeah, it's something that you need to have, because when she leaves, your she's gonna leave with half. Anyway, that's
Exactly.
a line from Kanye.
But
He knew.
if you were part of the process that brought these children into life, you should be
No, no.
responsible
So
for
they
the
probably,
upkeep.
if there was a way, he could be just giving that child
Directly.
Say,
Come on, take this money in your hand.
You can have 20.
That is why the child is a child.
That's the thing. That's why this guy has
But
a
that-
problem
yeah,
of
but that's-
pain.
but
He
that's the
just thinks that
problem.
I'm making this. I'm watching this lady that I'm no longer with, driving these nice cars. And
But
I know
even if
my money.
No, but Zibby,
Yes.
but I think you're forgetting something. So no
Mhm.
matter how much money a person has, it still feels like if what I'm paying for, I'm not getting value for it.
Yes.
It's not a great deal. And in this case, you're pretty much, at least for these guys, for these men, giving money to these people, that's your wife and maybe the kids, and you're not getting anything back. That's really what's
Yeah.
happening here. It's not like you're buying a house. You're not going to eat a meal. You're just dropping something into a pit, according to these guys. So I think that's part of the problem. Too.
Like, what conflict is the child eating? What?
But see, that's
know?
the thing, yeah. Because I think perhaps because society is structured in a way that women basically have to do a lot of the domestic
raising,
and everything.
child and
Yeah.
stuff.
So I think sometimes the fathers or ex-husbands
Yeah.
do not exactly appreciate the work that goes into it. So
You think
yes,
I'm not sure that's the reason. I doubt it. Because if these people were married,
Right.
it might not be as big a problem.
so it's basically because just like James said, they've fallen out, so they're not happy
Exactly.
that the relationship
Yeah.
has ended. But why would you've raised your child to a certain standard of living, right? And all of a sudden, because you want to punish the ex, you want to pull that away from the child. That's not punishing the ex, that's also punishing the child.
Yes, but you're forgetting that for these guys, the idea is this: nobody needs $20,000 a month.
Well,
Nobody
a certain
does.
standard
Not
of
even their
people
kids.
like us, we don't need 20,000. Okay, we do. Money's never
Please don't
enough.
say us. Say people like me. Say to yourself. Oh, how dare
James,
you?
James wants that $20,000.
Okay.
James is like, please give it to me now.
Give me half of
But
it.
you know
Give me half
what?
of it.
We can survive comfortably because we're probably not earning that
But
much, so
Zibby,
it's
now,
good
this is
for
not
us.
fair. I think they too can survive on 5,000. Believe me, or
Let's-
10,000.
let's-
Not 20.
The
man.
houses those people
That's
live in
a lot of
alone,
money.
they're paying bills, they're paying heating, the schools. Because when you're a celebrity or your husband, your wife is a celebrity, your children are just not going to go to regular schools down the road like the West family. Their children will have to go to specific
No,
schools.
but
They
you
need to
see
have
it,
security.
West is giving his ex $250,000 or $200 for each of the kids. So and I don't hear him complaining.
Right.
So maybe it's fine for him.
Exactly.
But for everybody else who is not a billionaire, West is a billionaire. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
You know. So for everybody else who wasn't, okay, we used to be a billionaire anyway. For everybody who isn't, I think that for them it's like doing the exact math. When these people were living with me, it was about $1,500. Why am I giving them times 10 of that? That
But
isn't right.
the child support is gotten as a result of the partner's income. So it's not like they just
Yeah.
pluck that amount out of the air. It's what you're earning. That's how, based on the person's earning, that's how they're able to calculate that amount.
Zibby, you're not being fair, Sha, because think about it. These people also have to pay tax. You know,
Well,
and
No,
that
but
tax
I'm sure
can
they
be
put
heavy.
they put all of that into.
No, I'm saying that
consideration.
when they're paying tax, they're always unhappy. But they don't have battles like we do. You know, and yet they are displeased. They don't have NEPA like we do.
They
And
have
they're
their own
displeased.
challenges, though.
Exactly. So I
And I
just feel
think
like, you know what?
he's also on this the Fast X one coming next.
No, of course.
So,
Silas cannot leave that.
They've
thing.
looked at it and they've seen that this guy, a new installment is here already. He must have collected a lot of money too, so go for it. You know.
All right, we're out of time. I'm going to read some messages really quickly. Chubike says, I agree with Oris. The Fast franchise will go on for decades. Nobody gets tired of chase stories at high speed. And Cruz says, are we sure Tyrese didn't pull a Hakimi too? Okay. Tayo says, even Kanye West didn't follow his own advice.
Yeah,
And
that is true. That is true.
Daisy, Fast and Furious 200 needs to happen ASAP. Tyrese can't be left alone with his thoughts. And Anthony says Fast and Furious 9 was a flop. I hope the new installment will be good. At least there'll be
Was
some
it
good
flop?
eye candy.
No, it was a flop. Okay, maybe just for him because it made a lot of money. That's why they stayed 10 by the way.
Exactly.
All right, that's all the time that we have for the Grapevine. Special thanks, of course, to you for listening, for sending messages, and to James and Oris.
Yeah.
James and Oris show on YouTube.
You too.
Stay with us. There's a lot more to come on the Smooth Breakfast.